I'm Rose. All of you have seen graphics like this showing wealth inequality in the US. This one shows that 1% of the population owns about 40% of the country's wealth. And it's only gonna get worse. Some people, like economist Andrew McAfee, think that technology is primarily contributing to wealth inequality, and it's sort of like we're having a robot revolution that is taking people's jobs. Although Tim O'Reilly would say that as long as humans have problems, there will be work, and we certainly have a lot of problems. And I think it's not that people think technology is bad. Of course, self-driving cars will save many lives, but they'll also put millions of truck and taxi drivers out of work. And what are we gonna do about that? And the answer is not to stop automating and building, of course, and it's also not to just kick back and eat cake and not do anything about the problem. I think we need to start thinking a lot bigger about poverty. Shortly before he died, Martin Luther King said that he thought the solution to poverty was to abolish it directly through the guaranteed income. Thank you. The guaranteed income is another way to describe the basic income, which is a simple, obvious, and very crazy idea to just give people money whether or not they work. Yeah. Economics writer John Aziz puts it another way: the basic income is taxing the robot owners to support the people they put out of work, and I think that's a much more lovable version of a robot revolution. The basic income has been tried in the US way back, in India and parts of Africa, and in a place called Manitoba, which according to Google is this really big place in Canada. And actually just a few days ago in Switzerland, they voted on a referendum on the basic income. And while nobody really expected it to pass, it did get about 23% of the vote, and it helped popularize the idea across Europe. People are talking about it in Denmark as well. Could it happen in the US? Well, many of you here, probably know that Y Combinator is about to launch some experiments of the basic income in Oakland, which is very exciting. And basic income has been all over the press, and not just in liberal publications, conservative publications, all kinds of things. And that's one of the biggest strengths I think the basic income has, is this bipartisan support and interest. On the liberal side, the argument is that the basic income helps promote equality by giving everybody a safety net that they can fall back on regardless of their personal or family wealth. Some liberals worry, though, that by having the basic income, it may cut down on in-kind service programs that contribute to housing, medical care, and education, which are, of course, very important, so that's something to be weighed. On the conservative side, the basic income helps cut down on government bureaucracy by streamlining benefits programs that are very messed up, as Jen showed us, into one single program. And this is conservative Nobel Prize winning economist Milton Friedman, who said the basic income would help poor people by giving them money, which is what they need. Very true. He proposed it in the form of a negative income tax, which is one variation of many different forms of the basic income. Conservatives worry, though, that the basic income would make people lazy and crash the economy. But with the robot revolution coming and all, maybe it won't really matter that much anyway. So why do I care about this? I spend my time thinking about solutions to poverty. I started a tech company called HandUp that lets you donate money to homeless people in your community and other people in need. And definitely check it out, handup.org. Thanks. And one thing I really learned in this time is that from talking to service providers across the country, is there's so few big ideas being discussed and so little work being done in this space. We really need a lot more around poverty. So this is the future. And the future, as you'll notice, of course, is high tech. but it's also free from poverty. And if we're going to create the kind of future that we all want to live in, we need to start thinking really big about ideas like the basic income, in addition to all of our great work around artificial intelligence and self-driving cars. So I think the basic income is one such idea, and I hope that you guys will look into it and help us come up with new big ideas around poverty.